When I picked up my FJ Cruiser, the first priority was to get a larger set of wheels and tires and a lift kit installed. And now that that's done, we are on to priority number 2, which we're going to take care of in today's video. Now, as you guys know, Toyotas have a great reputation for long-term reliability and durability. They build vehicles that are designed to last for several 100,000 miles. Now, if you're anything like me, anytime that I'm driving somewhere, I've got the music on. And you're talking about a vehicle that's designed to last for several 100,000 miles. So if you keep the vehicle for the long term, you could be looking at thousands of hours of listening to music. Now, for those thousands of hours, do you want to listen to music that is distorted and muffled, or do you want to listen to music that is clear and refined? For me, it's a pretty obvious answer. Unfortunately, the stock audio systems that you get in the FJ Cruiser and other Toyota models are not very good, which is unfortunate when you look at the other big players. General Motors, for example, they've got optional Bose audio systems. Dodge and Ram, they've got Infinity, which is pretty nice. And then Ford previously had Sony as their premium alternative. Now they've got some Bang & Olufsen options. So some really great options from all three of those big automakers. Unfortunately with Toyotas, the best that you can hope for is a JBL audio system. And if you got a JBL audio system that's anything like what I've got in my 2016 Toyota Tacoma, you're probably pretty disappointed. Fortunately, there is a solution to this problem. It's OEM Audio Plus. With that said, today we're going to be doing an OEM Audio Plus speaker upgrade on the FJ Cruiser. If you're getting a little deja vu, that's because just over a year ago, I did the same upgrade on my 4Runner. These speakers that we're installing are actually identical between the FJ and the 4Runner. The only difference is that on the 4Runner, we've got 6 door speakers and 2 tweeters, and on the FJ Cruiser, it's got 2 door speakers and 2 tweeters. Now, my favorite thing about OEM Audio Plus is that their systems are specific to your Toyota model. So whatever Toyota model you've got, they probably have a system for your vehicle. I'll put a link to their website in the description below so you can go check it out. They also service a few other models out there. But the great thing about their systems is that they're completely plug and play. Bolt holes are exactly where you need them to be. Electrical connections are exactly the same with your stock setup. So there's no trimming, there's no cutting, there's no splicing of wires. Super easy to install yourself. You can see for today's video, I'm out here in the woods on the side of a snowy road, and we're gonna do the install right here just to show you how easy it is. It's only gonna take me about 10-15 minutes to do, and we need 3 simple tools. We've got a wrench here with a 10mm socket, Phillips head screwdriver, and then ideally you'd have a trim removal tool. I've just got a small flathead screwdriver. It'll do the job just fine. I already did the driver's side of the vehicle. You can see we've got our driver's side tweeter here that was removed, and we've got the new OEM Audio Plus tweeter. You can see that our bolt holes are exactly where they should be. Likewise, the size of each is exactly the same, and then our electrical connections are likewise identical. And we've got our door speakers here. This is the old driver's side door speaker that I removed. This is the new one we're going to be installing. Again, you can see the size is exactly the same, bolt holes are exactly the same, and then our electrical connection is also identical. The other great thing about OEM Audio Plus is that they sell their systems in components so you can incrementally upgrade. All we're doing today is a speaker upgrade, which basically gets rid of the distorted, muffled sound so you have nice, clean, clear sound. It's not going to completely transform the sound that you've got in the vehicle, but if you want that complete transformative experience, they offer that too. The next level up is to go with a subwoofer upgrade. They've also got a dual subwoofer upgrade, and they've got a dedicated amplifier for the subwoofer. You don't have to buy all of that. Like I said, you can do just the speakers for $350. If you want to do everything, it's just over $2,000. And if you want to do something in the middle, they also offer those options. So that's a really nice thing, is that I'm buying a nice high quality set of speakers, and if I want to upgrade further down the road, I can make those incremental upgrades as I go. With that, let's get to the installation. So we're going to start off with this passenger side tweeter. First step was we've got to remove this plastic cover plate on here. This is where that trim removal tool would be ideal, but we've only got the flathead screwdriver, so you just want to be really careful not to damage it in the process. So we're just going to gently pry the flathead screwdriver under this plastic trim piece here, go along the edge here until we've got it nice and loose, and then we're just going to pull this up. There we go. And then you can see we've got our tweeter right below. So we're going to use our 10mm socket here to disconnect this entire bracket, and another one here on the right. All right, and with both of those bolts out, we're just going to pull this up here Got our electrical connection here. We're going to push down on this little clip and slide this out. There we go. Next, we're going to remove these two 10mm bolts, and we're going to insert the new tweeter onto this metal bracket. Loosen these with our wrench here, and then remove these bolts entirely. And then next, we're going to remove this little electrical connection from this plastic clip on the bracket. Just take the flathead screwdriver, put it in here, and push down this little plastic clip, and then this will just slide right off. And we can remove the old tweeter here and install the new one. So next we're going to take the new tweeter here and we're just going to insert it like so. Again, you can see those bolt holes line up exactly as they should with this bracket. And then we're going to take these mounting bolts, get them hand tight before we tighten them with the wrench. Do the same on this side. Next, we'll go ahead and tighten up with the wrench here. I'll have to go super tight here, just enough that it doesn't wiggle around at all. And then we're going to take our little electrical connection here and we're going to push it onto this bracket. So you hear that click, and it's ready to connect here. Pop that in, set it right back down into there. And all we've got to do now is reinsert our two bolts. Get those hand tight, and then we'll tighten a little further with the wrench. And then again, we don't need to go super tight here, just nice and snug. And then the last step, we're just going to take this plastic cover and pop it on, and we're done. Replacing the door speaker is a little bit more involved than that tweeter, but still super easy to do. First, we're going to remove this plastic screw. Let's get our flathead screwdriver back behind here. Gently pry around the edges. And then we'll just see if we can pull this out with our fingers. There we go. Next, we've got two screws that need to be removed. We're going to use a flathead screwdriver here to get the little cover plate removed first. So we're just going to pry this in here and pop this cover off. Do the same thing down below on this one. Then we're going to grab our Phillips head screwdriver to remove these two screws. Next, we'll get this upper one. Next, we're going to remove this little cover plate here for the window opener and door lock. Just going to get our flathead under here and gently pry up along the edges. Lift this out. And you'll see we've got two electrical connections. Push in on this one, slide that out. And then this one, we're going to push in on that, slide it out. Next, we're going to take off the plastic door panel here. There's screws along the edge that secure this to the door. You can go one by one with the trim removal tool to pull this off, or we can just gently pull it free and that'll work just fine too. We're going to grab down here by the speaker and gently pull out. And we're going to go along the edge until all those are free. And then at the top here, we're just going to lift it up. Move that camera so you can see what I'm doing back here. We're just going to pull out this one on top here. This little ball comes out. Do the same thing on the bottom. Don't forget that we've got green on the bottom and white on the top. Okay, and then we're just going to set this aside. So first, we're going to disconnect the electrical connection here. Push it on this plastic clip on the side, and then we'll pull this up. And then we've got 4 10mm bolts that need to be removed. And we're going to pull this off. It'll be stuck on a little bit. And it's out. Now we're ready to install the new one. Install it with the electrical connection facing up. Just going to insert it in here. And then we'll start by getting these bolts hand tight on all four corners. You don't want to over tighten any of the four corners too tight. Kind of want to do them in a star pattern to get it equally tight and make sure it's completely sealed around the perimeter. Again, with these, no need to go super tight. Don't damage anything in the process, so just get them nice and snug. That's all that's needed. And then once all four bolts are in, then we're just going to pop in our electrical connection and we're ready to put the door back together. All right, so once again, green goes on the bottom. I'm going to insert that ball, pull this around, push it in, do the same thing with the white one here. Once we've got those both snug, then we're going to take the top portion of the door here and insert it up top. Make sure that's nice and snug. And then with this snug, we're just going to go along the edge. We're just going to pop in those plastic screws. Then we'll reconnect our door lock and window opener here. Do our two electrical connections. And then this back side goes in first. And we just pop down the front. Next we've got our two screws that go in. The smaller screw, in case you put them together, goes on the top and the larger one goes on the bottom. We've got our little plastic screw here. We're just going to push in on the bottom here. You'll see this piece comes out. So this will easily insert, and then we just push in on this little tab to lock it into place. Put that right there, lock it in, and we're good to go. So with that, the speaker upgrade is complete on the FJ Cruiser. I didn't lie, it was super quick and easy to do, even out here in the snowy woods on the side of the road. And now I've got a really pretty drive home and I'll be able to rock out to some beats. One thing I did want to mention before I end today's video is if you've got a 4Runner, you could totally do this same upgrade. I mentioned that I did it on the 4Runner about a year ago, all 6 speakers and tweeters. That was about $700. If you don't want to invest $700 in your audio system, you could do this $350 upgrade, replace just your front door speakers and tweeters and get a really nice incremental improvement in sound quality. And then down the road, if you want to do further speakers, the subwoofer, the amp, you could do that as well. Hopefully I'll have further upgrades to the sound system on the FJ down the road. This is it for now. If you guys have any comments or questions on the system or the install, feel free to leave those in the section below. In the meantime, thanks for watching.